SignPosts Stage 2 oversees the day-to-day running of 5 projects with 6 members of staff, accommodating and supporting up to 30 clients at a time. SignPosts Stage 2 will only take referrals from the SignPosts Stage 1 project, and this is the next progressive step for the clients. One of the Stage 2 projects has 5 clients with complex needs, and if they wish, the project can be their home for life. In the second stage projects, a wide range of support is available, from assisting clients with their daily living skills, their social and emotional needs, budgeting issues, liaising with outside agencies, and involving clients in different activities such as communal meals. Each client has their own individual support package tailored to their individual support needs, and progress is monitored by staff through discussions and feedback during regular key work sessions, managers' reviews and house meetings. As with all the SignPosts projects, SignPosts Stage 2 aims to help clients achieve their own maximum potential to live and develop in the community. So Maggie, you've had a lot of different roles in the company, haven't you? Could you talk me through some of the roles?
Yeah, I started back in 1999. And I was working as a support worker on the sleep-ins at second stage. I then went on from that to do a bit of life skills in the daytime. I worked at Pathways. I also worked at SignPosts 1 as the cook. Then I started working as a support worker at SignPosts 2. A bit later on I was promoted to senior support practitioner, then deputy manager, and now currently I'm manager.
And could you talk me through a typical client journey?
They're referred to us through SignPosts 1, and then they'll come into our service and we'll pick up on the support which is already in place from SignPosts 1. We'll speak to them about the housing, see which direction they want to go in on that, whether they want to go private or local council, out of area. We set up a plan to work towards that. Generally they go with Luton Borough Council, which is choice-based lettings. They'll be referred to them, then put on the waiting list. Then, again, while still with us, we'll go through their support plans, depending on what they've got. We've also have a 33-point plan, which is part of our support package. And then once they're ready, and the key worker feels they're ready and the client feels they're ready, they complete a move-on referral and we send that off to choice-based lettings.
And over the time you've been with SignPosts, is there a particular success story that stands out in your mind?
Yeah, we had a client in, he had problems with alcohol. He was drinking pretty much every day. We got him involved with the external agencies. Over the period of time, it did take a little while, he cut down his drinking. He then moved on within second stage to the block of flats that we manage, so he could manage his bills a bit more and a bit more responsibility. And then he moved out into his own property through LCH, and he's currently working. He rings us once a month just to say, hello, how are you doing? I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and we talk at how's your flat, and he's decorated it a bit more, so yeah, it's really good.
What would you like to see for the future of SignPosts?
I do feel we need more houses and maybe specialise in other areas as well, more supported housing. Rather than the short term, mainly for mental health. Because out in the community, a lot of the time they are targeted and it's really hard, and it's not good to see someone's life fall flat and they have to start again because they've been targeted in the community. But yeah, to expand, that would be good. But SignPosts has already, I've been here 13 years, and the amount of changes I've seen over the years, it is amazing really.
So how long have you been a client at SignPosts?
About 8 months now.
Tell us a little bit about your background.
I was basically a construction industry professional. I was a manager, looking after lifting operations on the site. Pretty big sites. The last one was King's Cross. And here I am, basically.
So you find yourself unemployed?
Well, basically what happened was just before Christmas last year, the construction industry took a massive nosedive, and a lot of us got laid off. Found it very difficult to get back into the industry again, especially in our original positions. Since then, some of my qualifications have run out, so it's been even harder.
So you found yourself not only unemployed, then you found yourself homeless?
And basically what happened was, after a few months, 3 or 4 months, I found I couldn't pay the mortgage and it was repossessed. So that's how I got into the signpost system. I mean, I left it right to the last moment, trying to live off what little bit of savings I had. And then I went to Luton Borough Council, who put me in touch with SignPosts.
And how did you find that then? How did they help you?
Well, initially it was I was in shock to find myself having a house and a flat and cars and bikes and all the various trappings of success, to suddenly find myself homeless and know where to go. And then I go to Signpost 1. And a lot of it was just support. I just needed support. I was in shock. I couldn't believe it would happen to me. Never dreamed it would happen to me. Pleasantly surprised, actually. I had preconceptions as to hostels and or what it would entail. And I got a lot of help, basically just to get my self-esteem back, and then basically shown the road back on my feet again.
So where are you now?
I'm in the second stage now, so I'm more independent. It's basically like living in your own home, but you're just sharing it with others. You're responsible for the cleaning and you do your own cooking. You have more privacy, obviously, because you've got your own places. And it's much better. I'm just looking to get through the system and get my own place.
So that's your plans for the future?
That's my plan, yes. I mean, I'm being retrained in January, so I'll get one of my qualifications back. I've got job offers which I can't take until I get this qualification back. I'm in a catch-22 at the moment, but it's looking good. I've had a few phone calls, and the job centre are going to send me on the course now in January.
So what would you say to somebody who maybe find themselves in the position that you were?
Don't leave it too late. There are people out there who do actually care and will help you, which I didn't realise before. I'd never been in this position before. So there are people out there, and there are some very good people out there. And I was told, you know, considering what happened to me, I'm surprised I didn't cut my wrist or something, but I didn't, and I did get a lot of help. Especially, I will say, especially at SP1, the first stage, where you are very vulnerable. And if you haven't been through the system before, you don't know who to see, who to talk to, anything about the benefit systems. And they're very, very helpful.
Mark, how did you find you needed signposts in the first place?
I found myself in a position where I was completely homeless, and I was on probation at the time. And they referred me to Signposts, who I hadn't heard of, and they gave me a place the next day.
And how did you find it? So you started at stage 1?
Stage 1, strange environment to start with, but it was okay. It's quite a busy hostel. I was only there for about 3 weeks, and then I moved to a stage 2 project called Swaysdale Road.
And how long were you there?
18 months.
And was there one thing that stands out for you?
Well, I suppose the support I got was good in lots of areas, not just getting rehoused. I was there for a long time because I needed to be rehoused with my daughter, so it was a little bit more difficult in getting a place just for myself. But yeah, they helped me in lots of ways, and eventually got a flat in Dunstable, and I've been there ever since.
So what would you say to anybody who needed to look to Signposts for help?
If they're genuinely homeless and they need help, then go there, because they will give it to you. As long as you stick within the rules and work with them. They won't do it all for you, but they will help you a lot. And it's your job also to get yourself settled. But there are people that go through Signposts that need living skills as well, not just somewhere to live, and to make sure they can cope in the community. But I found it a good experience, and that's why I'm here today, to express that.
So where are you now, and what are your plans for the future?
I now have a flat in Dunstable, and I live single parent with my son, he's 9. And I'm looking forward to getting back into work, which hopefully will be riding a motorcycle for the NHS. Just maybe next year that'll happen. So yeah, the future looks good, definitely.
So Jasmine, you're really new to Signposts. How long have you been here?
4 weeks now.
So how are you finding it?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it, really enjoying it.
Did you have any preconceptions about working in this field?
I mean, I've never done anything like this before, so I kind of had a few ideas on what it was going to be like. I thought it was going to be very chaotic, but in fact it wasn't at all. It's very structured and very relaxed, so I think it's really good.
And you're working in stage 2, aren't you?
I am, yeah.
What's the atmosphere like? What's the environment like?
I mean, everyone's really friendly. The staff couldn't be any more helpful, and they're always there. You know, there's someone there during the day for clients to come to if they've got a problem, and if they've got a problem when staff aren't there, we do have night staff that come in, and also they can always ring our Stage 1 projects, which are always there. There's someone there 24 hours of the day.
How is the support structured at second stage?
Well, with the support plan, we have every few weeks we have a key work session with our individual clients that we're key working. I mean, we can see them once a week, once every 2 weeks, depending on their support needs, how high their support needs are. During the key work sessions, we discuss how their week's been, how they're feeling, goals that they've set the previous key work session, to see if they've achieved them goals. Also, we have a 33-point plan that they need to complete, or they should complete by the time they leave. So once they've completed the 33-point plan, they're then ready to move on.
So what would you like to see Signposts doing in the future?
In the future, I'd love to see them expand and grow, because I've never done anything like this before, but already it's so clear how many people need help and support, and a lot of people don't even know about it. A lot of people don't even know where to go to access different information. So I'd love to be able to see us grow.
Maddie, you're a support worker.
Yeah.
What do you enjoy most about what you do?
Working with clients.
Is there a success story that stands out for you?
Yes, there was a gentleman that came into the projects. He was literally living on the streets before he went to Stage 1, and then when he came to our Stage 2, he was slightly challenging, but with a lot of work and effort with him, he's now successfully living in his own flat in the community.
And what sort of thing do you do with the residents at Stage 2?
It's quite varied, really. I mean, obviously, we work with them to find out what their needs are, and in some cases we can even sort of help them with their daily skills, daily living skills, which is cooking, cleaning, because some people haven't had their own flats or properties before, so obviously they need sort of support in that area.
So preparing them for living on their own?
Yeah, that's right, yes.
And what do you see for Signposts in the future, or what would you like to see?
Well, I'd like Signposts to be able to carry on, because with the economic climate that we're in at the moment, a lot of charities have been having cutbacks, so to continue their good work.